Coffee this morning. Whoa.
The records, it started already. The record's been broken. The one-bedroom Olympic record for DY. How did it happen? When did it happen? Stay tuned.
Morning, Mr. Novak.
Hello, Mr. Lamplow. How are you?
Mate, great. Friday morning, blue skies, Olympic records being broken left, right, and center. Cannot complain. How are you this morning?
Mate, good. Even DY is bringing home the gold. I'm getting my jab this morning, my Pfizer.
That's good. And is Lisa getting hers as well?
Yes,
yeah.
We're both getting it. Wish us luck.
It. Good luck. Doing your bit for the community.
Doing our bit.
It's a team effort. But anyway,
everyone's got to do it.
Olympic records being broken. DY is doing pretty strongly in a couple different categories at the moment. The Northern Beaches in general has done incredibly well with capital growth, particularly across the housing side of the market. Typically, we see that apartment prices will eventually start to follow, although there's been a bit of a bigger divide between the two, probably now than there ever has been. But some really strong results coming out of the office, which is sort of showing the apartment side starting to pick up and gain a little bit of traction. So, Mark, what are we going to have a chat about today? That's right, even through lockdown.
Yeah. Look, this is a really interesting one. Good morning, Luke. Jab. Very interesting. So, Meriton DY, the biggest apartment builder in Australia, came to DY. DY was up in arms for 20 years about the density, the height, the sheer size of the structure of 300, 400 units to go in. Went through. Mr. You got the wrong screen there, bud. Meriton came to town, built 365 units, we helped them, sold 365 units. We had a lovely lady buy a one-bedroom for $700,000. Now, two years ago, it was big money. What did you just sell it for? And how did you break that record?
So Meriton 1Br, smallest sized 1Br that they had in their stock, little galley kitchen. Yeah, that was purchased by my vendor for $700K 2 years and 2 months ago, and we just got $890,000 for it. It just settled Wednesday. So massive money. As you'd say, a true or a pure one-bedroom apartment. Very nice, of course. All the Meriton apartments have been very well. But you know what, actually, Mark, this sort of came about in a couple of ways. We scratch each other's backs in the office, and we are able to show each other's properties. And the way this one worked out, myself, Michael, and Sevan, we all had buyers. We all had a few buyers, actually. But through
on the same property.
On the same property, yeah. So listed the property. I'm showing my property. Stevan's showing it. And it works out. Well, it couldn't have gone any better, to be honest with you. We had a couple of buys that were all at the same level. And we ran a best and fairest. So it's quite a transparent but fair way of closing a deal via private treaty. And it actually raised the bar probably $30,000, $40,000 worth in terms of what people were prepared to pay under that competition as well. So $890,000 for a one-bedroom in a private treaty setting, not under an auction conditions. It's pretty strong.
Yep. And can you show it?
I can. I'm just going to see if I can get that split screen to work. Because when you said that was the wrong screen a second ago, Mark.
Yes.
but it's
If
not.
not, that's cool. But just to explain, 54 metres squared internal is not a big unit. Didn't have any sharp features. Sometimes you find one bedrooms creep into two bedrooms by having like an extra office, study, or bedroom without a window. So they almost become like two bedders. This was not that. It was a purebred one bedder. So it's a huge price for a purebred one bedder. And then another thing as well is I think what people you should know out there, guys, is units are on the move. So houses did a really nice run. People were loving the houses. Yeah, there you go. Scheduled outage. So the houses had a beautiful run, left units behind. And then what happened? Can you remove that scheduled outage there, bud?
No, I don't think I can. It's stuck. It's stuck.
Doesn't
I'm afraid.
So, so incredible price. Units did a run. So houses did a run. Units stayed behind, and this lockdown, particularly the last maybe 8 weeks, or even maybe as long as 12 weeks, what we've actually seen houses do, units do, is go. So they're making a huge run at the moment. Houses not as much, James.
Well, they've slowed down a little bit, and I think it sort of gives us a little bit of new perspective. We've seen so much growth. I've just got RP data up. In fact, I should probably get it on the computer. But DY houses, they've still had 39% in a year.
Okay.
And units, so the growth there is beyond belief. But for apartments, we're on 15.9%. So that would average at 100.
And houses are 30%.
39.
39. That's for DY.
That's for DY. Are there any other suburbs you might like to hear?
Can you move off? Can you move off the screen? What's there, buddy? Just so we can I can see your lovely English face. That's not English. Yeah, there you go. So houses have done double the growth of what units have done. We're seeing it like an elastic, whereas it actually stretched out. Houses went bananas, whereas now it's coming back together and units are doing equally as good. We're seeing units go. And who would have ever thought a one-bedroom unit is going to start hitting the $1 million mark? That's happening. Anything else to report?
Yeah, well, that's one of our categories. There was a 3-bedroom that the office did this week as well that saw, was it 60% in 2 years? A 3-bedroom apartment, again in DY, bought for 980, quote me if I'm wrong, 980 or so in 2019. Sold at the beginning of the month for 1.56.
64% growth.
64%. And correct me if I'm wrong. 64%. Typically, when you see these jumps in the market and the rises and the highs and lows, typically when the houses move, the townhouses, the duplexes, the bigger apartments will be moving, and then the one-bedders will follow last. Or do they all just move at the same time?
They all move at the same time. So what I mean by that is, look, you did see the housing category not move at the same time, but it I guess over time it's all going to be the same growth. But 1, 2, 3-bedroom units, they move at the same time. The units are units, the houses are houses. Traditionally, over a long period, the units perform the same as houses. Like if we do a rolling over a long period, we've isolated it to give you a 12-week report or a 26-week report, but over years they generally do the same, providing there's not a lot of stock that hit those suburbs. So watch out for suburbs that have a lot of stock dropping. It will put pressure on your category. If you're a unit and there's 5,000 units in the suburb and that number doubles, you're going to find it hard to get capital growth in that area. So try to get to areas where there's not a lot of that stock dropping in that suburb or around that suburb of that category, because it will put pressure. It's like diamonds. If there's a lot of them, the price goes down. If they are rare, the price goes up. Same thing with supply and demand for apartments.
Well, look, it's sort of that all sort of follows into what Luke said here. Units will move due to affordability, but actually, we've found that the Northern Beaches have just outperformed itself month after month after month. We do have a little bit of new stock coming on into the beaches with a couple of developments, but it's a very limited amount. I think it's just a good thing for the community to see that, what we do have here is going from strength to strength. I think it will open back up, and they'll continue to do even better in the future when all of this is behind us.
And James, I've always said to people property values have doubled every 7 to 9 years. I've always said that. And I've got to be honest, it didn't do that. During 2000 to 2010, during 2010 to 2020, it didn't perform that well. There were years where it did 3%, 1%, 4% when we were paying 7 or 9% interest rates. So I reckon people are going, we're overcooked, we're going to blow up. I'm saying over a long rolling average, we're actually behind a little bit. So I don't believe we're going to blow up.
Yep. Well, there you go. So DY going very strongly, prices going crazy. Good time to sell if you are a vendor. Good time to buy to get into the market at any point. Do you have anything else you want to finish off with, Mark?
Go to the Olympics. It looks like we're going out of control with COVID, but let's just head down, bum up, and focus and do what we're good at, which is not watching the news. It's working hard, serving people, and producing whatever you're producing. Property is a great investment. 1Brs are doing well in DY, broke the Olympic record, and that's it. That's all I've got to say.
That's it.
Or as Luke Moroney says, bye, bye, bye.
Jab, jab, jab.
Jab, jab, jab.
Jab, jab, jab. All right. Thanks, Mark.
Okay. Take care. Cheers. Bye.